Hey, can you guys hear me?
Thanks for listening to the AC12 podcast, proudly presented by Little Caesars. Code 1099 bun, pepperoni or cheese pizza, crazy bread, or in 2-liter soda. Code LCFREECC, free crazy combo with a pizza purchase. All right, let's get in here, everybody. Hop in here, get us, smash the like button, subscribe, give us money, whatever you want to do. It's awesome. All right, we've got a lot to get.
Can I lead it off with a stat, Mike?
Sure, what's up?
ESPN Research just tweeted this. I think it's a good setup for the show. Arizona is the third team in the history of the AP poll to have multiple wins over top three opponents in the first 5 games of the season, and the first since 1989.
Yeah, we're good. This is a really good team. And you know what's weird? Let's just talk about the meaning of this game, and then we'll work backwards from there. This was a game, and I know I disagreed a little bit with my guy, Brogan, and I totally get what he was saying about this game was house money. But I felt if Arizona was able to get this win, this is something now that we look at, and you're kind of like, all right, there's, this resume right now, as long as you don't totally crap the bed, you're going to have as good an out-of-conference resume as there is in college basketball this year. And again, I'm not beating up Brogan because he's right that it was house money. But man, getting greedy right here and being able to get this win, Florida and UCLA, these are going to age really, really well, fellas.
We were talking on the phone. What was it yesterday? Where I said before the season started, I told myself 6-3, 7-2, and out of conference, and I'd be perfectly cool with it. Right? Like whatever. Now it's like 7-2 should be the minimum. Right? With Alabama, Auburn, and San Diego State, and some cupcakes left, and you go 7-2 with this out of conference, and as long as you don't screw it up, Arizona's a 1 or a 2 seed come March.
Oh, real quick, we got a $50 super snap from the Vegas Falcon. Krivas deserves respect. TIT, baby. Trust in Tommy. Yes. Brogan, what do you got? Then Kobe, what do you got?
Well, the good thing about this win is in March, nobody's going to remember that Terrace Reed didn't play.
Right.
And so, like, we'll get into that a little deeper. I think there's something to be said with Rivey playing and being able to hit threes and stretch Arizona's defense. He still scored 15 points, whatever. But yeah, when we looked at the non-conference schedule, you're like, okay, Arizona's probably going to split all of these games. Florida, super tough. At UConn, not a winnable game. Alabama, tough. Auburn, tough before they lost Bruce Pearl. But they're catching a few breaks, which usually it seems like all the breaks go against Arizona. Everybody's healthy. Everybody plays their best. Everybody makes a bunch of threes. This year, though, early they're catching the breaks, which, again, as long as they don't lose 9 conference games, then they're basically guaranteed a 1 or a 2 seed. So
yeah. And let's talk about it before. I'm going to make fun of the spacers here a little bit here. And Kobe, you're a spacer in the corner. I've said from day one, and again, you always want to have guys that can shoot. You always want to have your John Brogans, your guys like that. But the most important thing in college basketball, period, is to be able to have guys that can make plays with the ball down the stretch. And guess what? Arizona has had that in every game against Florida, against UCLA, and against UConn. When the shot goes cold, you have to have guys that can get their own buckets. Jaden Bradley has done that. Koa Pete's done that. Kobe L. Thiel, do you want to sit here and apologize?
Yeah, I will apologize. I feel like when you have 2 guys like Jaden Bradley and Koa Pete, the 3-point shooting isn't as important because those guys can get 2 points almost every time they want. But I think the big picture in this game was Jaden was awesome, Koa was awesome, and then the rest of the supporting cast was very timely. Like I thought Krivas, he ended a couple runs. I mean, he had that dunk. He had that offensive rebound, that flip shot. I thought Braden Burries had some really timely shots in the second half, and I thought he acquitted himself well, backing up Jaden with around the 8-minute mark. I just thought it was probably their most complete game because this was the first time they didn't have a slow start. I didn't really think anyone was atrocious throughout the entire game, which is a first. And the thing is, this team can just keep getting better.
this team is going to keep getting better. Now, a guy that has been a absolute beating stick on their beating stick. I don't think that's a thing. No better.
Thing, you just gotta make
whatever. Yeah, beating or whatever it is. Krivas. We need to give Krivas a lot of credit here. This guy has gotten so much crap for no reason. And again, you could say, oh, well, he's not what Tommy said he was. This dude is a good basketball player. You want to know when you know somebody's a good basketball player? When Terrace Reed went out, Arizona needed to go right to him, and he needed to dominate in the paint. Now, did he get 25 points? No. But guess what? He got 15 rebounds. He had a dunk in traffic. He was strong with the ball, and he just did a very good job. What was his final stat line? 11 and 16 or something like that?
He had 9 points, 14 rebounds on 4 of 6 shooting. Didn't block a shot, only 1 turnover. He was fine.
I mean, yeah, you will tell he was more than fine. Brogan will take that every day of the week.
Yeah, and Krivas is going to be this year's version of Jason Shear's KJ Lewis, where you watch the game and people complain because he's not dunking the ball enough and not blocking enough shots. But in the end of the game, 14 rebounds, high percentage shooting. He wasn't going to block shots tonight because their defensive strategy was just to have him stand in front of the rim. Right. And UConn wasn't stupid. They were going to shoot 12-foot pull-ups, right? Their guards are good at that. And so his role wasn't to do that, but he dominated the defensive glass, had a couple key offensive rebounds, had a couple key buckets late, like Kobe had said. So, like with him, I think he's going to be underappreciated because he's not flashy, kind of like KJ was last year. But every game, he's going to have a pretty distinct role in why they win.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Kobe, what do you say? What do the Gen Zers think?
I think we're at the point with Mo to where people are going to complain just about every time he plays. It doesn't matter how good he's going to play. Like, I know I saw people complaining, oh, man, Mo with his slow feet, he's not guarding these three-pointers on the perimeter. And I'm like, that's part of their game plan. I'm like, They're letting that guy shoot those shots because he doesn't want to. So we're at the point where people are just going to complain about Krivas no matter what he does. But I thought he had a lot of timely buckets. He stopped a couple runs. He takes up a lot of space in the paint. Even if you don't think he moves very well, and you think he's more of a plotter, that's fine because he takes up half the lane on his own. You don't want to drive into that. So, and he plays tough. I thought he was pretty physical down there today.
All right, yeah. Now, I don't know why EM77 keeps misquoting me. I literally picked Arizona on the show yesterday to win this game, so nice try. I actually picked him. You can go back and look. Nobody watched the show, so you might be able to go back.
Only one of us on the screen didn't pick Arizona. We all know who that was.
That would be the guy in the bottom left.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hustle and motivate, baby. All right, Patrick Radke, $4.99 super snap. Awaka is the man. What I like about this team, and then we had Stutjo in here as well, what I like about this team a great deal, though, is that you've just got so many different guys that can pick up different parts of the different parts of the equation. I mean, you look at Awaka. Who would have thought that he was going to come in there, not only get rebounds, but be a free throw closer at the end? I mean, he was the kind of guy like with Koa where I'm just like, man, if you just make 1 or 2 of these, then we'll be in pretty good shape.
You weren't like the announcer who was wondering if he, with a 3-point lead, should miss the second on purpose.
All right, here, I want to talk real quick. We're going to get back to that. I need to go on a rant just for a second, and I promise. Here, I got like 30 seconds. Here, seriously, time me because I don't want to. What in the world was going on with this announcing crew? Bill Raftery.
Mike is like, Benetti's good. Like, I like Benetti. Bill
Raftery's terrible, man. Bill Raftery doesn't know where he is anymore. I'm sorry. Brogan and I were messaging back and forth when the first time when he kept talking about Yvonne banking in the 3 that was clearly not banked in. It didn't touch anything.
I like the ones where the ball was clearly, like, you could watch it 100 times and it was off UConn. And they were like, I don't know. It may have. It's like, dude, it's right in front of you.
Dude, like the one with solo ball. He's like, well, it's going to be a really, tough one. I don't know what he's watching. Sometimes you just got to put horses out to pasture, and it's going to happen to all of us at some point.
He didn't even say onions today, did he?
No, he probably forgot to.
That's why you bring him on.
No, yeah, he was terrible, and they were so pro UConn the entire game. It was like, shut up. Gosh.
It was a Big East broadcast. I mean, they get most of the FS1 games, so I kind of expected that. But did y'all catch the moment in the first half when he said that Jaden Bradley was 6 for 3 from the field? Did y'all catch that one?
No, but it doesn't surprise
6 for 3,
me.
And then at halftime he only had 5 shot attempts. And I'm like, all right, I don't know what you're reading.
He's shooting 200%
from the field.
It's
Right.
amazing.
And then
I'm
he
not a
only had
math
5 shot attempts in the first half. I was like, I don't know
He's
what
the
you were
best point
reading.
guard in the country. Name me one other player that shoots 200% from the field.
Yeah, that's that good. Okay, so and Cody, we're gonna get to all the super snaps here. I very much appreciate. I'll keep them all coming, Cody. I'm gonna put you in charge of me reading those here in a few minutes. Okay, now Jaden Bradley, though, we talked about it, and there was a big was a big discussion on your board, basically the entire summer. Oh, who's going to be the guy that who's going to be the Caleb Love? Well, we know who it is. It's Jaden Bradley. He's done it now in 3 games against ranked teams. What I like about JB is that not only can he get into the paint, he can finish around the basket. He's got the little mid-range jumper, and he is a good enough 3-point shooter at this point that you just don't want to leave him open. I mean, Brogan, he's been a monster down the stretch in these games.
Well, and I just want to clear the air because we had a debate on whether or not Bradley would be Jamal Shed, and I think I won the debate because he's not Jamal Shed. He's better. So
all right, well, you said he wouldn't.
Well, that's
wouldn't
a hit
be
at Mike. Mike, that's Mike's boy.
You
So
said he
he's
wouldn't be
better.
nearly as good as Jamal Shed. I win this one, my friend.
Mike, are you taking Jaden over Jamal Shed?
They're right there. I mean, Jamal
Right
Shed's
now-
a first-team
right now we are.
All-American, but yeah,
I know. I mean, that's your boy.
I know. All I'm saying is I win that one. Go ahead.
here's the beauty of Jaden Bradley is last year, late game stuff, it was Caleb Love. You were most likely getting a jumper. The thing with Bradley is he hit a big 3 against UCLA. He had the step through today. He gets to the line. Like, he can score in so many different ways that at the end of the game now, for the 3rd game in a row, big game in a row, you're just kind of like, well, give the ball to Bradley and watch him get a bucket. Who knows what it'll be, but it's going to be a bucket. And
Right.
so, like, he's going to be the point guard that everybody slept on for most of the year, and he's going to continue to do these things in big games to where they're going to have to make him an All-American at the end of the year. There won't be any way they can't.
Yeah, he's forcing. When you're the best player on this team, that's going to be a thing. Now, I also thought that they were. I also thought they were very clever though, about how they were able to push and get him to steal a couple minutes here or there. You put in Braden Burries. You put in Braden Burries. Right before the under-8 timeout. You were able to steal a couple minutes. You put him out there as well, and then he's good to go. But this is going to be very much of like one of those Jason Gardner teams where you have to, he's going to have to play 38, 39 minutes per game, and I think you're going to be just fine with that. Kobe.
Yeah, I think he's been killer. When he comes out around that 10-minute mark, then he comes in right after the under-8. That last 8 minutes, he's been killer past 2-3 games. All these big games. What was that stat the other day where he was he 7 for 8 in clutch time situations
in college basketball this year, and it's not even close statistically.
It was like he shot like 7 for 8 in those 2 games. I mean, today I don't know if he missed a shot in those moments either, so it's going to be still right up there.
And you know what was different for him tonight? And I mean, I don't mind obviously the way he's played at all, but tonight it was both halves. Like, there was no slow start for him. He scored the same amount of points. Or no, he did. He had 12 in the first and 9 in the second. Shot well in both halves. When he's going that whole game, they are really, really good.
Okay, let's get a couple reads in here, and I want to get back to about where Arizona should be ranked at this point. Yeah. Tell your friends to get in here. We got 655 lives. Yeah. Keep it going. Okay. Ken Palm's an idiot if he has Arizona at 6. I know it's all analytical based.
It's all computers. You keep saying he's an idiot. It's literally
he's an idiot. Well, his computers are idiots then.
I know, but it's literally just a good. UConn dropped like 3. Arizona was 11. It moved up 5 spots. UConn dropped down.
All I know is this, is that when I look at Ken Palm and he had Danny Hurley as the 6th best coach in college basketball behind him.
I don't understand. I wish I could ask him, Mike, but he's on your favorite Blue Sky. He's off.
Is he on a Blue Sea or whatever it is?
Yeah, only on Blue Sea.
Have fun with Blue Sea.
No wonder his rankings suck.
He's sending a message. Hey, guys, I'm going to be over here where nobody watches me. Have fun. Yeah. Okay, now, all right, this is good. Oh, guys, we got Mike Natowski in here. He is the owner I almost said Blue Valley Decorative Rock. Green Valley Decorative Rock. We have to step our game up right now for this one, okay? Welcome to the Rock. Brogan?
That's all I got.
Kobe. All right, what do you got there?
Kobe's not doing one?
Kobe, that was all right. What do you got there, Sheer?
Sheer sounds more like asthma than static.
Yeah, sure. It sounds like you need your
I run out
oxygen
of breath
tank.
towards the end.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, man, that was awesome. Yeah, all right. Either way, get to Green Valley Decorative Rock. They're killing it right now. 2 convenient locations, Tucson plus Green Valley, 50-plus locally sourced landscaping materials, serving residents and contractors. Now, you might say, who likes living in Benson? It's not me. Well, John Brogan likes living in Benson, but yeah, I don't. By the way, I know somebody that says they'd prefer to live in Bisbee than Benson. Loser. All right, Western Marana.
I agree
south
that
of
person
Nogales.
is a loser.
Yeah,
I agree.
North Oracle. Check it out. Yeah, check it out. Boom. All right. Yeah, or Green Valley Decorative Rock. Get there and get us some real times. Yeah, real times. Back to real times. What else we got? Okay. All right. Now. All right, Land the freaking man with the master plan. Here's what we got to be honest here. This is not Land's sister. Land was lying to us. But this woman or this vision will be treated with the utmost respect either way. Here's the deal. Eris Dental. I had the championship package inserted, no Ben 1. And at the same time, though, I fell asleep because it was literally a seamless process. It was so good. Dental implants at affordable rates. You don't have to pay $10,000 million for it or anything like that. Right now, it's $19.97, but we know that this team is winning the national championship. So get in now, get those implants before it rages up to 2026. Boom, check it out. All right, boom. All right, yeah. Okay, one more. 88 crime. Now, if you see somebody like Kobe L. Thiel and he's going around, he's probably stealing stuff, or you're seeing somebody that shouldn't be doing what they're doing, check it out and call 88 crime. Don't get your hands dirty. Let somebody else's hands get dirty as well. Pima County Attorney's Office, they've solved thousands of different cases. Check it out, 88 crime. All right, now let's get back to where you know what's exciting to me about this game. I think what's exciting to me about this is that Arizona hasn't come close to being what this team can absolutely be. And let's talk about it. Braden Burries. Listen, the people I kind of chuckle a little bit at the people that are like, I just get rid of him, don't play him. You need him to be good. This team, you need him to be good. Now, it's been really painful to watch at this point, but at the same time, guys, he's got to be good. Maybe you just need a couple cupcakes to get him going. I don't know, but at the same time, and I think what you said it pretty well in our text, Brogan, where you just went that he's not going to be. He's not going to be the 14 or 15 point per game guy, but at the same time, he's also going to be somebody where you're like, I just need you to be serviceable.
Well, and early in the season, they're getting by without him being good because ADO's better than what people thought, 20 points in a game, whatever, hitting threes. Karchenkov has been a lot better than people expected at the 3. Today he was getting to the bucket. He needs to stop shooting so many threes, but again, he was wide open. So they're making up for it with other players, which I think is okay. But if they're going to win a national title, which is kind of where you have to accept the ceiling is, they need Burries to be the third guy. Because Krivas isn't dependable enough on offense. He's more defense, more rebounding, get you a bucket on an offensive rebound, maybe a post up. But ADO is going to be too streaky. You saw tonight when UConn went really athletic, they kind of eliminated him from the game. It's similar to, it's not much different than what we did with Caravan. You can take those types of players out of the game with just a little bit of pressure defense. Right. So they really need Burries to figure out how to be that third offensive guy. And not so much so he can be 14, 15 a game, but when Bradley has a bad game or Koa has a bad game, they need him to be able to get him 15 or 20 points in those one-off games where the other two guys are struggling.
Yeah. And all right,
what do we need from Braden? Like point-wise. Like I know he wasn't good, but like the bucket in the beginning of the second half was good. He had 4 points tonight. Obviously, you want more
10 points. 10 points.
Give me like 10 points in 25 minutes. Like I'm cool with that, right?
Yeah, 10 points.
And defense on the perimeter. You're good.
I thought his defense was fine tonight. I didn't think it was awful, considering the guys that he was carting, because I thought they were going to eat him alive before the game. Like I thought their whole game plan was. I think
that it's okay at this stage to say that he's probably not what we were hoping, but there's no reason that he can't be better. I think 10 points, just be a solid player, because I think at this stage in the game, we know this. Jaden Bradley is going to play at an All-American level this season. Koa Pete's going to play at an All-American level. You got 2 All-Americans right there. I just need you to be what was the term you used, Brogan? Serviceable?
Yeah.
Yeah, just be serviceable, and we will take it from there.
I think because Burries is the starter, we pay more attention to it. The real freshman issue is Dwayne Airstone's terrible. He's unplayed. Like Braden, I know Braden was higher ranked and all that, but Aristotle is like you think Braden's unplayable. I get it. Dwayne Aristotle on this season doesn't have any assists or steals. None. Zero.
I would say that I think the thing though with Burries though in big games is that Burries has been more destructive because of the position he's played.
I guess, but I'm saying is like all of a sudden your 8-man rotation, you only have one wing in ADO.
Yeah, but coming into the season though, we knew that we were going to have to get some sort of combination of ADO, Karchenkov, and Aristotle. Right.
Yeah.
Everybody had Burries penciled in as 14 points a game and being one of the dudes. So, like, to me, that's the main difference. Aristotle's been terrible, but Karchenkov's been really good, and ADO's been pretty good.
Right.
So, like, Aristotle doesn't show up to me because we haven't needed him yet.
And I wanted to, you actually touch on this. And Mike, I didn't know if you were going to bring it up. Yvonne's defense is insane for a freshman.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what?
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You're not
Tonight, what he did on Alex Caravan is a guy that Danny Hurley yesterday said he wouldn't trade for any 4-man in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And he was held to 8 points on 2 of 5. He couldn't even get off a shot. And Hurley is fantastic at getting guys open shots. Caravan couldn't even get a shot.
You know what I like?
Step for step.
You know what I really like about Yvonne as well is that you can tell that no moment is too big for him. He's a player that when he comes in there and he drives to the hoop, a lot of times he's going to get fouled. He is open for a reason. I don't necessarily need him shooting 6 3-pointers or whatever it was, but at the same time, he's good, man. Like it's kind of like we were telling, like when Murph kind of gave us, and I don't think he'll really care when he was just kind of when he told us when we got lunch one time, he just goes, "Trust me, Yvonne's good. You'll see it pretty quickly." Guys, Kobe L. Thiel, Yvonne's good.
Yeah, I feel like Yvonne's kind of that jack of all trade players. He was really good at getting downhill today. He's really crafty in the lane, surprisingly.
Right.
It's kind of clunky at times. Like those finger rolls he shoots, they're a little clunky looking, but they go in and they just seemingly are open. But I thought this was probably his second best game. I thought his defense was fantastic. Like Shear was saying, Caravan, he's a fourth-year senior, like multiple time, like all conference type of guy, and he outplayed him for sure. I mean, he came alive a little bit down the stretch, but other than that, Caravan was a no-show for 35 minutes.
Okay,
I know I said this before, but when I interviewed Yvonne at Media Day, I asked him, like, you're going to be playing UConn, and he's like, I don't care. Like, I played at places where they shoot fireworks at my head. And it was like he was joking.
Wait a second here. And tell this to I know, but tell this to Zona Germany. Zona Germany's always getting mad at me for the remarks that I make like that, where they're shooting off fireworks and they got like
he's right. Like he doesn't care. Like he did not care where he was tonight. Couldn't care less.
So you're saying when you come from cold soup areas, you're going to be
they shoot like flares and fireworks at your head.
Yeah, exactly. I saw Terrell Stoglin kick a ball into the stands and give everybody the middle finger in like Venezuela or something. All right, here, let me get to the super snaps real quick. Stut Joe, $2. I saw the Krivas benefit tonight. He played great D. Exactly. Take that, Dennis Walsh and David Rosen. Now Patrick Radke, Awaka is the man. Awaka is just a treasure, guys. I mean, this is somebody that a lot of times people you don't really appreciate until he's gone. He's fantastic. Tyler Warden, I backed the A and made a good amount of coins, so here's sharing the well. Trust in Tommy, baby. Appreciate you. Now, TJ Van Marder, give us that number one ranking. Let's stop there and just talk about that for a second. Arizona absolutely should be the number. They probably won't be, but Arizona should absolutely be the number one ranked team in the country. You beat Florida on a neutral court. You beat UCLA in LA, and you beat UConn at UConn. There is no team out there that has a resume that compares to that, fellas. No team, period.
We got 2 more ranked wins to get to number 1. So if they don't give it to us for this one, we'll just beat Alabama next, and then Auburn after that if we need to. No worries.
Yeah, and then after that, maybe we'll be a 2. I mean, but there's no Sheer. I think you put it up.
I very clearly I'm ready for war with whoever is ahead of Arizona. But like Purdue's first ranked, they played Alabama. Their next ranked opponent is December 6th against Iowa State. They play Memphis, Eastern Illinois, and Rutgers, right? Yeah. Is Duke ahead of Arizona right now?
No, isn't it Purdue, Houston?
It's Purdue,
UConn,
Houston, Arizona. Yeah.
So Houston would be the other one. They play Tennessee on November 25th, and that's pretty much it.
All right.
But normally with the polls, if you don't lose, you don't drop. But you also don't have one of the teams in the top 5 beating everybody else in the top 5 or top 10. So at some point you have to just kind of be like, well, this team's beating everybody, so they just have to go to 1, even though Purdue hasn't lost yet.
Like Kyle Boone with 24/7, Mike, which is with CBS, who's a nice guy. Like he just said, best team, best resume doesn't equal best team. And he would have Arizona as the 4th best team in the country right now.
Well, he's an idiot.
Purdue,
I don't know.
Duke, Gonzaga, Arizona.
Oh, no. Hold on. Excuse me. Who
That's
did you
his
say?
best, not his best resume.
No, I don't care. All right, Gonzaga. Gonzaga. You make the case for Gonzaga over Arizona.
Me?
Yeah.
Gonzaga's second in Ken Palm, by the way.
I don't give it.
Mike, I'm agreeing with you.
Blue sky.
Here's what we're going to find out, Mike. On Monday, they play Alabama. On Tuesday, they play Maryland. The following weekend, they play Kentucky.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get back
so
to
we'll
that
know.
point.
We'll know.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. That's crap, though. That's trying too hard.
I agree.
Sorry. Okay. Now, BAB out-rebounded them by 20. Crazy. Great game plan going into tonight. And that's what we've been talking about. And I got to give Brogan a lot of credit here. I like giving Brogan crap, but I got to give Brogan credit here. Because at the same time, we've been talking about this. When games slow down, this game, guys, felt like a March Madness game, period. And when the game slows down, you got to be able to control the glass and you got to be able to get buckets when you need. Arizona's shown that. I mean, now I get that Terrace Ross or whatever, or Terrace Reed, or Reed, whatever his name is.
Terrace Reed. You got on the second prep.
Yeah. All right, I get that he wasn't there, but still, man, Arizona beat up a pretty good UConn team nonetheless. And that Reeby guy is not bad, Brogan.
Real quick before Brogan talks, just to add to his point, Ken Palm showed tonight Arizona had 63 possessions. It's the fewest in a win during the Tommy Lloyd era. They had 2 more last season. It was the losses to Houston.
Yeah. And so I think Terrace Reed is a lot better than Ryba, but Terrace Reed wasn't going to score 30 points in this game.
Right.
He probably was going to score around 15, the same thing that Ryba did. Now, would they have been a little better defensively? Probably, but I don't necessarily know that he turns UConn into a 15-point win over Arizona because of what they got out of Ryba. But Arizona had a clear plan for this game. It was not to let Caravan get going from 3. He wasn't going to beat you with a bunch of post-ups.
Right.
It was to leave whatever center they decided to play, or whoever they decided to play at center, wide open to shoot as many threes, because we used to live by the same philosophy. That guy can't make enough of those shots to beat us, no matter how many he makes. He's not going to make the 8th one if that's what they need. And then they just didn't want Ball and the other dude, DeMary or whatever.
Yeah, Silas DeMary.
To just get going and get you for 20 or 25. And so there was enough of them having to run off screens, get into the paint, make tough shots. So they had their defensive game plan, and they pretty much executed it to perfection. They gave up a few easy buckets during the run, and they couldn't score, and their offense slowed down and got funky. But to your point, when game gets tough, they've got a guy who can get a bucket between Koa and Bradley, and they rebound like crazy. And those two things will usually benefit you pretty well in tight games.
All right, Kobe, I want to ask you a little bit about the inbounds plays here, because that is a frustration for me that I don't quite get. Lee Ferris, $9.99 Super Snap. Very much appreciate you. OC Bodybuilders, my guy. This definitely is an all-time win for us. $9.99. Thank you, sir. Andre Veras. Hey, nice try. We're not going to endorse you. Positive. We won the game. Burries is not showing up. Negative. Burries has been trashed this season. He must be better. Yes. Tom Smallwood. Don't get too excited. I am very excited. Very excited. How much? Very nice. Tom Smallwood. Very nice. And all right, what else we got? Golf Tango Russ. Motor Boys, baby. $9.99. Woohoo. Stud Joe. $2. I'm happy over the moon tonight for those cats. Yes. Appreciate you, man. Okay. Now. Luke Ornelas. Tommy Lloyd has 2 sons, Dan and Bobby Hurley. That's awesome. Andre Veras, can we discuss our inbound struggles? Yes, let's talk about them now. And H. Fuchs, Coach K always would stress that what you should make as many free throws as your opponent attempts. Arizona's done that to Florida. I like that one. Arizona's done that to Florida, UCLA, and Duke. Okay, now, I like that. I'm going to put that in there. All right, now, David Rosen, I'm a Krivas believer. Sorry, Dennis, Backmount Krivas, yes. Mo, 3 Voss, General Krivas, the Mount, yes, H. Fuchs, appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, okay. Now, we need to talk about the inbounding.
I think Tommy after this topic. Remind
What's
me.
that?
I'm going to tell you something funny real quick.
Go ahead.
UCLA has 6 threads on the Arizona UConn game right now.
Oh, do they?
Yes, 6.
Is it about how?
threads?
Is it about how all the players on Arizona they didn't really want?
I like UCLA played Zona much better than UConn. That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. The inbounds plays. I'm going to say this. I don't know why this is an issue. Tommy Lloyd is an awesome coach, and anybody that doesn't think Tommy Lloyd's an awesome coach, you are wrong. He is awesome. Why is the inbounding still an issue? Because Shear made a really good point, and when he makes a good point, I like to try to hammer it home. No Ben one, but that I was like, yeah, I would just keep fouling here, and he's like, no, I don't know that we can inbound the ball. So, Kobe, what's the problem here? Give us the Gen Z. Give us the Gen Z look.
I feel like the whole procedure is a problem. Just getting the ball in between the pass, actually catching the pass, getting open, the entire procedure has been a problem this year. And I feel like every game they have at least 2 or 3 inbounds that are turnovers. What was it? Tonight it was ADO stepping on the line when UConn's on like a 7-0 run. He steps on a line off the inbound. Or it'd be a time where like the inbound goes to Krivas and they throw it at his chest and it gets stripped away. Or the Florida game. I feel like it's a combination of there isn't a lot of creativity on these inbound plays. I feel like it's a lot of standing around and a lot of the same thing over and over and over again. And I feel like the execution is just not great either. Like I said, past couple games we've had inbounds where they've thrown it to Krivas' chest. He's 7'2", just throw it up there. He's going to get it stripped if you throw it to the number on his jersey.
Now, Shear, Brogan, why is this an issue? Because this has been an issue for 4 years. And if it was like
one bad one today, right?
Yeah, but agreed. But the fact that you even said and you weren't joking around.
The end of game situation was that first or second.
The Florida
was a little scary. I was like,
and the Florida one was insane because we had
call at one point.
We had 3 straight possessions against Florida down the stretch where we couldn't get the ball in bounds. Shear, Brogan, talk to me.
There's your Kelvin Sampson coaches with inbound plays that they run inbounds plays to get buckets.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelvin Sampson is one of the best in the country at it.
Right.
Tommy doesn't run inbound plays to score unless it's that back screen lob play for Koa, which has worked once so far. It looks like they run one inbounds play to get the ball inbounds, which they're not great at. So I don't know. If Shear finds some courage during one of these pressers, maybe he can ask Tommy why they don't
Tommy, but I promise you
try to score off inbounds versus just trying to get the ball in. But the creativity at some point is going to have to step up because they either have to chuck it to half court and hope they get inbounds or risk turning the ball over or burying one of their guys in the corner. So nothing they do is really effective from an inbound standpoint, but I don't think they try to be. I think that's the problem is they don't try to be. They're just kind of like, let's get it in and run offense.
Yeah. All right. So I'd like to see them get that fixed, but maybe that is what it is. By the way, big shout out Caleb Love yesterday, 17 points, very very nice, very very nice performance. Okay, now let's get into a little bit then about up front. Koa Pete. You know what's funny about Brogan definitely gave Shear the glove right there. I like it if Shear gets some courage and asks a tough question.
Whether it's on record or off record, I'll ask.
Yeah. Okay. Now, all right. So up front, then, Koa again is the man. My only concern with Koa generally is being I would foul Koa all the time if I was another team down the stretch. But Koa's awesome though. Oh, a 49.99 super snap from Dart. I was wrong. Love Dart. BTFD. Dart, you're coming on this week. Very much appreciate
to get on the show. You didn't have
to do that. Yeah. We like Dart a lot. But Pete.
Hey, hold on real quick. Didn't Dart say he was matching all the super snaps up to the number of points Arizona scored? Just saying. I think that's
Dart,
what he committed to
Dart,
yesterday on the show.
Great. That Dart, because I think he posted it too.
Dart? Not to spend his money, but I think that's what he said.
As the kids would say, not to pocket watch. Is that the term, pocket watch? That's very true. That's very true. Because he posted it. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's great. But with Koa, though, Koa is just a monster, man. I mean, listen, the free throws are a little tough, obviously. But at the same time, though, the way that he can get his shot, when he gets into the paint and he elevates there, when he takes it from 15 feet, when he gets the ball around the basket, when he does all that stuff, he is Dart 1999. We love you, buddy. We love you. You're the man. But Koa's just a beast, man. Koa's one of the handful of best freshmen that's ever come through here, and I still believe that this year he's going to have the best power, or that he's going to be the best freshman power forward ever here.
Who would be the competition?
Well, we talked about it before, D.
Derek.
Will and Lowry, but that's Michael Wright. But it's he's better than them. He's
I
got
think the
more.
thing with Koa is another guy where like the moment's just not too big. It's just
Right.
not. Like he's
Right.
done this. He's played against really good players overseas. He's played against good players in high school. He's won championships. Like the moment's just not too big. And tonight, if like he took 14 shots, I don't think it was enough. I don't think they
Right.
got him the ball enough in the second half because once he got the ball inside, there was no answer.
No,
Like,
Big
you-
12 Bobby, to be very clear, I said power forward though. That's Mike Bibby. Yeah. I put my all freshman team was Mike Bibby at the point, Jared Bayless at the 2, Sean at the 3, Koa at the 4, DeAndre Ayton at the 5, and I'm right. So yeah, I am.
the only one that's arguable is what? The 4 probably. And that's just because it's early stuff.
You could maybe go with Gill over Bayless if you wanted, but whatever.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah. Now looking forward here a little bit. Then this team. Then you got Auburn and you got Alabama. Let me ask you guys this: what is the chance that Arizona goes undefeated in out of conference play? I mean, we got to start literally looking at that. Khalid
I
was
don't
only
see
9
it.
a game. Kevin said.
I don't see Auburn beating Arizona at McHale. San Diego
I
State
agree.
lost to Troy last night. I don't know
Right.
if you saw that.
Right.
Alabama in Birmingham is going to be tough. And like tonight, like right now, they're down 4. They've shot 26 shots so far, and 15 are threes. And
Right.
there's still 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah. I would. Brogan. What do you? Brogan and Kobe L. What do you guys look at and say?
Go ahead, Kobe.
Well, I mean, I think we went into the year saying if they could go 4-2 in these big games, that would be a win. And we included San Diego State in those big games. And who did they lose to last night? It was someone ridiculous.
Troy.
Yeah.
Right.
Double overtime.
So I don't know if I count that as a big game anymore. But I will just for this this sentiment. But I thought we said 4-2 that's a win. We're sitting
Right.
here with 3-0. It's time to get greedy. Can you go 4-0? Can you go 5-0? Can you go 6-0? I mean,
Yes.
I think at this point you gotta win 4. You gotta win 4 of those big games, or you gotta win 4. But I think the goal should really be go 5-1 of those games. You
Yeah.
can
Well, and if you look at Auburn, they're basically a slightly worse version of what Arizona is. They've got the ability to go really big. They're going to be physical. They got a pretty good
stud
point
in
guard in
Petaway,
in Pettiford.
or Petaway, whatever it is.
But them losing Bruce Pearl definitely is going to cost them a handful of games this year, no matter what. I think they'll be fine by the end of the year, but it's going to cost them because as good as Stephen Pearl might end up being, he's not Bruce Pearl. And so I don't have a ton of concerns about that game, especially being at McHale. Like I see Arizona being like 7, 8, 9 point favorites in that game. Alabama's the one though, where they've got the potential to make 15 threes in a game.
Yeah.
And Arizona hasn't really seen a team that can do that yet. But I think most importantly, when you play all these close games, you're bound to lose one at some point.
For sure.
And so I think 5-1, like again, I'm kind of assuming San Diego State's a win, but 5-1 in these other big games, I think is the most reasonable outcome because you're not going to last second beat everybody, you know?
All right.
I think
Now,
Alabama is the most interesting matchup of that bunch because they're going to shoot 40 plus threes. I mean, we played them last time. What were they? I think I saw they were like 8 for 41 from 3. They shot 41 threes, but I don't like their bigs this year at all. So
yeah,
I
the
feel
big
like Koa and,
suck.
They don't have
Koa,
bigs.
Mo, and Tobe should combine for 40 plus at the minimum.
Right.
So that'll be an interesting one. They should
Yeah,
dominate them on the boards too.
And what's exciting about this as well is that, and actually, I think I have a good point. I'm going to try to hold on to that one. Let's get a couple reads in here, and then we're going to get to the Mississippi Gladiator, Andre Veras' questions, and then we will get back to it. But first, let's see here. What do we got? Talk to me. All right, Longview. Oh, Andre Veras, nice try. I had lunch with Andre Veras. I think it was yesterday, and we got together. We talked for 2 hours, and almost none of it was about sports. But at the end, he tried to get me to endorse him. Sure. Guess what I told him?
Turned them down.
Yeah, buzz off, loser. Nice
Go to Ojos
try.
Locos?
What's that?
Did you go to Ojos Locos?
No. He wanted to keep it clean. We went to Dough Pie or someplace like that. Dough
Go-Bird,
Pie.
that place is good.
Go Bird.
Yeah,
That place
Dough Bird.
is
Yeah, it
good.
was nice. Yeah.
Very
So,
fancy.
But yeah, the Mississippi Gladiator tried, but I told him, I said, I can highly recommend. That's what I'm going to do. Did you recently just change your job? And let's talk you through your old 401k and learn about your new retirement plan. Kobe L. Thiel, looking for some place to save up for an air conditioning. Same thing. Now, give Andre a call at 325-3456 and reference the AZ12 podcast for a complimentary initial meeting, and check us out at longviewii.com. Investing on your own, but not sure if it's enough. Andre will take you there. What did I say? Dober? I did say Dober.
You did say it's Dober, though. It's on Campbell. It's very good.
Yeah, it's good. No, that's what I said. Okay, Longview. Check it out. Longview Insurance and Investments. Okay.
I got to do the football availability report, Mike.
All right, now, Copal, we're going to have another watch party here coming up here very, very soon. Very, very soon. Kobe L., I expect you to actually come to this one. Copal, Tucson's contemporary Mexican food. CopalTucson.com. Mexican food delivered nationwide. Now, if you want to make me feel really good about myself, go in there and mention Mike Luke for a free elote rib with any purchase. Yummy, yummy in your tummy. Now, book your next large party corporate event with Copal. Large party packages available. We also cater any event. Check it out. Boom. All right. Now we got one more. What do we got, Cody? All right, Bridge Tech Communications. Now, our guy, Tony. Now, you might think to yourself, you're like, I want to find a gym, but I don't know anybody that markets it. Or I have a gym, but I don't know how to market it. Bridge Tech Communications says, come to us. Give us your poor, hungry people searching for a gym. 750% average ROI. They can help you market your gym or health wellness spa. Promotes 100-plus health entities across multiple states. BridgeTechCommunications.com. Again, Tony's the man. If you got a health or a wellness spa and get it out there, check it out. All right, now, okay, wow, Jerry Reyes, the great Jerry Reyes. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, now.
Let me bring up something football, Mike, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, what do you got?
That injury report.
All right, let me guess. Tristan Downs is out, and Myron Robinson's out.
Yeah, both out, so they had doubtful.
Yeah, all right, well, we're a football school. It's next man up. You know how we do it around here. Yeah. Okay. You know what I like about, though, this what I like about how this schedule is playing out, though, as well, is that, and Arizona obviously has a gauntlet of a schedule, but then when you get into the Big 12, you got like 8 or 9 games that you should be able to win before you get another gauntlet. So you're going to get kind of a little bit of a reprieve in there before you go into the next one there, Skier.
I don't like how you're treating teams like Denver. I respect Denver.
Right.
No, Denver's terrible. So really, you're right. Like Arizona plays, actually Denver plays Friday. So Arizona has Denver and Norfolk State, who are god awful. Those are the 30-point wins if Arizona feels like it. I like, Mike, that they have a week after Norfolk State to prepare for Auburn, and then after Auburn, they have a week to prepare for Alabama. So that's the only game. I like that. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Brogan, Kobe L?
They kind of did the same thing with the UCLA UConn back-to-back, right? They had 5 days to get ready for UConn coming off the UCLA game. They'll be prepared for Alabama. The thing about Alabama, I think that worries me is, when UConn went with the athletic lineup tonight, that was when they kind of started their run. Alabama is going to be only athletes and a bunch of guards that fire threes. Phylon obviously is really, really good. Holloway, right, is the other guard. He's really, really good. So it's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a game where they're going to need Burries. Calling it now, like they're going to need his defense, obviously. They're going to need him to be able to score because Alabama's not going to play a game in the 60s with Arizona like UConn did. That game might be 100-95 like the Florida game was.
That's going to be an interesting game too because Hurley will match. Like he'll play bigs. He loves playing bigs. I mean, if Nate Oates has to, he'll just play 5 guards and say shoot 83s. Try to take Revis out of the game.
Yeah. Rick Trimmer, as much as I like you, you're wrong about it. Khalid, Kenny Lofton, and Matt Muehlbach are not the best 2 guards in school history as freshmen, and all of those guys would admit that. Okay, now, no offense. Okay, now, let's get to Andre's point. What was Andre's point again? Bring it. Oh yeah, the points, the things that I think that you can, that they can work on. Burries is the first one. Honestly, I don't believe, and again, I know that he hasn't been great, obviously. He's actually been wrong. You're wrong. I guarantee Rick Trimmer, I've asked Matt Muehlbach this over beers, who the best shooting guards in school history and the best freshman, and he definitely did not name himself. And it wasn't, and he wasn't being modest. He was not naming himself. But Burries is fixable to me. Now, again, I think Burries to me is a little bit like Krivas. Okay, we got that. Burries to me is a little bit like Krivas. You can take it off the screen now, Cody, thanks. In that he's probably not, All right, Cody. Can you please take that off?
I think Cody passed out.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it's amazing that it's driving Mike so crazy he can't talk.
Yeah, well,
With
I
not
don't
the
know.
screen.
It's just annoying. But all right, either way. The thing that I find though about this Arizona team though is that with Burries, he's a lot like Krivas, and that yes, if you look at it from how he was sold, you're going to be disappointed the entire season. But if you look at it what he can be and what he can actually contribute, you won't be disappointed then. I think, again, we just need him to be solid. We don't need him to be a lottery pick. We don't need him to be a first-round pick. We don't need any of that. Again, if he's 10, 11 points, something like that, guys, that is more than good enough for me at that point. I think that's the first thing that I think is fixable that is on Arizona's roster. What say you three chaps?
I'd have to agree. I thought that second half was some of the better basketball we've seen him play.
Right.
And I feel like we were talking about him and Dwayne earlier today. The difference between him and Dwayne is Dwayne looks terrified and looks a little out of his element. Braden wants it. You can tell that he wants the moment. He wants the shot. Dwayne's a complete opposite, so that is harder to fix. But something like Burries, he's just a little out of his element right now. But it's not like he's in a point where he's scared of the moment, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, Brogan.
Well, and with Burries, he's an older freshman. He's not overly athletic. And so I think what we might have miscalculated was his adjustment period is going to be much bigger than somebody like Koa, who has still, it's a little bit of a shot at Sheer, but he still has a physical advantage, even being a freshman in college, because he's more explosive than Jeff Goodman thinks, but he's also just physically dominant. Like
yes.
He can still be a bully in college. Now he'll eventually hit the wall when he gets to the NBA. You're not going to be able to bully 35-year-old power forwards, but with Burries, because he doesn't have that thing that kind of separates him from the rest of the pack in terms of athleticism and size and speed and all that, his adjustment period is going to be a lot longer because like tonight, what you would see most of the time is he looks super timid, super hesitant, doesn't trust himself. He comes off a ball screen, immediately picks up his dribble. Nobody else on the court's doing that right now. So he just has to adjust. And again, he either will or he won't, but his pedigree and what he did in high school should make you believe that he'll adjust by conference play at the latest, I would say.
Rick Trimmer, with all due respect, and I'll just say this, how about we talk crap about more form? I talk with Muehlbach every day. He will gladly tell you that he is not in that class.
Did he send you the picture?
Yes, he did send me the picture. I talk with him every day. He will gladly tell you, and he will gladly tell you exactly that. We're not talking crap. Me saying that somebody isn't as good as Gilbert Arenas as a freshman, guess what? That's not talking crap.
But here's what I want to know. We can only pick one best freshman shooting guard in history. Does that mean we're talking crap about the other 674 that have played?
That's not at all what we're doing.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Super G1, $50 Super Snap. Oh, very much appreciate you. Hey, lunch is on me tomorrow at Dough Pie or whatever it's called. Okay.
Doughbird.
Now, yeah, Doebert. Yeah, Doebert. Yeah, whatever, same thing. Okay, so Tommy owns the whole family. BTFD, we love girth. Yeah, let's talk about the girth up front, though. This is a team that is not going to get bullied by anybody. There's been teams in the past with Arizona that kind of got bullied. Last year's team, I think, was the first that, and maybe the first year's team that just wasn't going to get punked, because I think a big part of it was that they were tough. They were in the Big 12. It basically, it is what it is. This team's not going to get punked. Just looking up front, when you've got Krivas, when you've got Awaka, and when you've got Tobe, they're going to match up with anybody. Now, again, maybe it's just team is a little bit better than them on a game, but they're not going to go into any game, Kobe, and say, oh, man, we can't do any of this stuff.
No, I'd have to agree. I mean, if you would have told me they went into stores and absolutely out-physicaled UConn, I would have told you, yeah, that probably didn't happen. I felt like they really bodied UConn, and you didn't mention Yvonne in that list either. I mean, I thought Yvonne, he really took Caravan out of his element. He had him in places we haven't seen him before as a player, and he's a fourth-year senior, and he completely wiped him out of the game for 35 minutes. He was all over him. So I thought this team was super gritty tonight, and they didn't melt down where some of the previous teams that we've had might have melted down during that UConn run, and it's just a testament to the culture they're kind of building.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Look, Dan Hurley in his presser just said, we got punked.
Yeah.
When there's a street fight in the paint, you can't just sit around in the perimeter. They got punked, and that is so rare for a UConn team. And I understand Terrace Reed, I get it, but that's not what necessarily happened here, because it was their forwards like Carabin got punked, like 3 rebounds. They had one guy with more than 3 rebounds on their team. One.
Right. And that's something with, it's funny with somebody like Danny Hurley when you watch him. By the way, and this is for Big 12 Bobby, I don't put Danny Hurley in the same stratosphere as Bobby Hurley when I look at their emotions. Can he go crazy? Yes. But he can also control himself most of the time. Bobby Hurley is literally unbuckling his pants and looking like he's about to strangle himself in the middle of the game.
Danny Hurley knows what he's doing at all times. I'm convinced that Bobby Hurley blacks out during the game.
Yeah. I mean, so that's not – but Brogan – I mean, you played, and like for somebody like Danny Hurley, that's probably the biggest insult that he can lay on a team, is that we got punked. I think he can deal with, we made bad decisions, we did all of this stuff, but when a man like that goes out there and says we got punked, that's hitting him about as close as it can, probably.
Well, and to your point about he knows what he's doing, like this is sending a message to the team that, like, you can't just rely on Terrace Reed to be your physicality.
Right.
Like, it's a team thing. And Arizona's fortunate where Yvonne is super physical. Mm-hmm. Bradley is a physical guard. He'll get in the paint and mix it up. Krevis, like, during the jump ball, I texted it right away, and it had never jumped out at me like this, but it used to be the same thing with Ayton, the same thing with N'Faly Dante. When you saw him next to Ryba for the jump ball, you're like, holy crap, like, yeah. Krevis is way bigger than Ryba. Right. Because Ryba's 7'1", 220 or whatever.
Right.
So, Awaka's super physical. Koa's physical. Arizona is coming into the season. They were always going to be a big team. Right. Like, Burries is at 6'5" at the 2 guard, and, Ivan's at 6'7" at the small forward. But I don't think teams really realize how big and physical Arizona is until they're out there on the court and they're like, oh, okay, it's going to be a long night. So yeah. It's part of what gives Arizona this huge margin for error is they just can be physical and out rebound everybody.
What's funny? It was funny. Milbach was actually saying about it. He's like, when he was doing a game, he goes, he's like, you hear about somebody that's 7'2" or 7'1", and he said, Krevis is the biggest person I've ever seen at the U of A. I said, I'm not saying he's the best, but he is the biggest. You have no idea how big he is until you just stand next to him, and it's like, wow, And Clint Moses, one player, was out for UConn. Sorry, and it was at home. So nice try. How's Oregon State doing?
Well, okay. UConn was way deeper than Arizona. Shouldn't have been a problem they couldn't overcome.
Me off about this narrative too. No one was complaining when UConn beat BYU and BYU was missing Kennard and Keita 5 minutes into the game.
Right.
No one made that a narrative.
Right. Exactly.
Right? Like, no, but now, UConn fans weren't mentioning that.
Right. Yeah.
No, it's a lose-lose situation, because if you win, it's, oh, yeah, we didn't have so-and-so. But if you lose, it's like, haha, you lost us and we didn't have so-and-so. So it's kind of like, it's a lose-lose when that type of stuff happens. And it sucks. I would have liked to see them play.
All right. Let's talk about the officiating here for a minute. I don't understand. UConn was allowed, and again, it didn't decide the game. I get it. It's just annoying for me. UConn was allowed to push off all the time, and then when Jaden Bradley does the same exact thing, it's viewed as a foul. And then there was just, and this wasn't one of the worst games that I've seen, but it still feels like there's just not a ton of consistency, fellas.
That's the issue. It's consistency, like the push off, right? When Arizona gets called for the charge or whatever. I don't remember what it was exactly. And UConn does it later in the game where the offensive player fully extends his arm and they call it on Arizona. It's just, I don't care if you're bad. I don't care if you're good, as long as you're consistently bad or good.
Yeah.
Right. And I wonder if, because UConn had a bunch of foul trouble against BYU, I'm sort of wondering if part of their style early in the season is to just foul a lot and force the officials' hand a little bit. And the upside of them not calling 100 fouls will be worth it for us in the end. It's kind of like what the high school teams used to do.
It's kind of like what it's kind of like what Pete Carroll said when he was in Seattle, where he said if you hold on every single play to the DBs, they're not going to call it every single time.
Right. And so I think part of it is their style of play, but to the point on consistency, you can't have a couple ticky-tack calls and then having people getting mugged at the rim and not calling it. Like, you've got to develop some sort of where they're going to call it really tight and call everything. Like, they didn't call a single moving screen on UConn all night. and they were leaning shoulders into every screen. And
Right.
so you got to kind of figure out if you're going to let them be physical and play, if you're going to call them all. But you can't be mixing it up halfway through the game because the teams can't get used to that. They can't play to that.
Yeah, Kobe.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. There were a couple calls that drove me crazy. The blocking call on ADO really pissed me off. I think I texted y'all about it because I was like, I know he was moving, but that was a full-on two-hand shove.
Right.
And then that drove me crazy. And then towards the end of the game, I feel like Mo got slapped in the back of the head when he kind of fumbled or was blocked, whatever it was, probably about a minute or two left. I feel like he got smacked in the back of the head and there was a lot of contact in the body. And I was like, oh, they've been calling all these fouls into the rim and they didn't call that one. Or you know what? UConn got a foul about 4 or 5 minutes left on that run that should have been called a travel. They got I want to say it was an and one or they got 2 free throws, but
Was it the one in the paint with Reeby where he took like 9 steps?
No, it was the other backup big, the dude who went to Lemoyne or whatever.
Oh no, that was the play. That's the play that I'm thinking of.
Fake 3 times and shuffled his feet 5 times.
Right.
Yeah.
He probably took about 8 or 9 steps and then he got a foul.
Right. Yeah. So
those drove me crazy.
Let's get a couple reads in here. I want to talk about the small forward. I want to talk about the small forward spot because that was what a lot of people were crashing out about, as the kids would say. Okay. But first let's get some reads in here. Back the reads. What do we got? Cody, are you live? Perhaps not. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know that Cody's there. I'll try doing this myself. Oh, crap. I don't know that I can do it myself. All right. Anyway, let's keep talking. Hopefully Cody comes back at some point. What were we just talking about? Oh, well, Cody's here now again. All right, so what do we got? Oh, yeah, RJ's Frozen Cactus. Now, Dennis Walsh, I don't see him in here anymore. It's probably because he's parking his jet in the parking lot because that thing's so big. That thing is massive. Home of the AZ-12 watch parties. $100 craft beers, not a good deal. 100 plus craft beers for $2 deals is a good deal. Pizza, wings, tacos, burgers, and more. No bad seats in the house. Huge parking lot you could park a jet in. Home of the AZ-12 watch parties. Red hot sports and ice cold beer. Check it out. All right, what else we got? All right, Baggins, yummy, yummy in my tummy. Use code AZ12 for 15% off. 12 Arizona locations, locally owned and operated. All food made in-house daily. Every sandwich comes with a chocolate chip cookie. Now, join our VIP text club. Text Baggins to 877-797-0444 for specials and deals. Baggins, get in there. Get the bag, baby. Mr. Tyler Warden, get in there. You're in Scottsdale. You can do it. Check it out. All right, we got one more. All right. All right, Kobe L. Field, talk to us. Air conditioning. Why is it important?
We live in Arizona. It's real hot, and I'm suffering with that AC. That's why I got my fan running right now, actually.
All right, good. Don't be like Kobe L. Actually get air conditioning in your house. Mention AZ12 when booking. You get entered into a Christmas raffle for a $100 gift card and a 6-month filter supply delivered. I would literally break my AC unit just so that I could have them come in here and fix this for me. Service and maintenance, emergency repairs, installations, ventilation, ductwork, mini splits, free estimates, you name it, they've got it. Okay, boom, check it out. All right, now, let's talk a little bit about the small forward. That was the position that all the Gen Zers were totally freaking out about before the season. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, the small forward position's good enough, period. Between ADO, between Yvonne, hopefully Dwayne can improve as the season goes. The small forward position has been more than good enough, period.
Yeah, I feel like that's been anchored by big improvement from ADO. He has taken steps in his offensive game. He's doing a lot more than just shooting. It would be nice to see Dwayne kind of get there eventually, but right now he just looks terrified. So eventually it might just become a 2-man rotation at that spot. But other than that, I don't have any complaints.
Brogan, Skier?
Go ahead, Skier.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you're going to – ADO, I'm cool with him. You're going to get some games like today. I didn't think he played well tonight, but he made a couple shots, got to the free throw line, had a couple assists. You don't need every player to be a superstar, right? Like Yvonne's defense is rebounding, stuff like that. Like he played 30 minutes. He played more minutes than ADO. He played more than Birdies. He played more than Krivas. Like he deserved it. Like his defense on Caravan was excellent. And so I think that's the pleasant surprise is that defensively, you're able to do it. You mix it up. You have a variety of players. Like UCONN is completely different than ADO, so you can mix and match, which I think becomes especially important in March.
Right.
Well, and when you look at this team, you've got Bradley as the number one, Koa as the number 1A. So all you need is role-playing guys around it. ADO fits the role perfectly as the shooter, get you an occasional bucket off the dribble. Karchenkov showed tonight that he fits the role as that wing defender, totally eliminated Karaban. Like, Karaban making threes was UConn's path to victory tonight. He took that completely away.
Right.
Krivas and Awaka in the paint. One, the defensive splits for Krivas are insane, but they rebound at a crazy high level. Arizona's out rebounding everybody they played, including best front court in the country, Florida. And so
Arizona best front court in the country, though.
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But I think it would be awesome if we had 5 starters who were all conference players. But the reality is, when you build a team, you need 2 guys who can get you buckets. You need other guys who can defend and rebound. You need another guy who can shoot. And Arizona's kind of constructed in the right way. And if Burries ever figures out and gets it going, then they're a real problem in March, and then you're disappointed if they're not Elite 8 or Final 4 at that point.
You know what's something else too that we got to people need to realize this as well, that in this day and age, you're not going to have just 5 superstars at a position anymore. I've always felt that the 01 team was the best team in school history because you had all-American caliber guys at every position. You had Gardner, you had Arenas, you had Jefferson, you had Wright, you had Woods. There's no way that Arizona could have afforded that team anymore. There's just not, because all of those guys would be worth $2.5 million anywhere. You just wouldn't be able to afford that team. So you're not going to have superstars at every single position anymore. That's just not the way the college basketball is. So I think you're right, Brogan, and I think the key is get 2 guys that are next level dudes. Bradley and Koa are those guys this year. Those are your All-Americans, and sprinkle them in there with some other players that are good. You know, for lack of a better term. Oh, another $20 super snap. Yvonne is the glue that binds this team. Let's talk about Yvonne for a second. You know, I can't remember who was on the board, but I'm kind of warming up to this a little bit. He said he's kind of like a younger, bigger Pella Larson. What do you guys think about that?
Like, say what you want about Pella, but
it's a I was wrong.
No.
Pella.
Like, he defended, he played hard.
Sorry,
he was physical. His offense sucked early on in his career. Like, there's definitely similarities.
Right.
Yeah, they play a little bit similar. You know, Pella was obviously significantly more athletic than Yvonne, but Yvonne's way stronger,
right,
and more physical. So they bring slightly different things to the table. But when you talk about the things they're going to do for the team, then they're on a similar level, whereas they're going to be really, really high-level role players for teams that are going to win a bunch of games.
All right, we were just asked about Cam Williams. Brogan, because does seem to be a little bit of take this for what it's worth. It's probably an outside shot, but I've read it as well, and you read it on their board as well, and you have a buddy that's somewhat connected. Just say it real quick, the Cam Williams thing.
Yeah, so one of my buddies went to Duke, good friends with Chase Jeter, and there's a lot of smoke coming out of Duke right now that the Boozer twins have kind of agreed before they even showed up that we're going to play 2 years at Duke because we know we won't play together again in the NBA. Like, just didn't happen. The same team's not drafting both of them. There's a small chance maybe, but unlikely. So, you know, if you look at Cooper Flagg, the rumors are he was getting paid $29 million last year at Duke between New Balance and Gatorade and what Duke was paying him. The Boozers come from a ton of money. Obviously, their dad made $200 million in the NBA. And so it's an interesting thing if Cam Boozer decides to come back to Duke. The other thing with Duke is if you watch them for 5 minutes, it doesn't take long, in my opinion, to see that Kamania is super limited as a player.
Kamania sucks. Just
I'll be
yeah, he kind of
say
sucks.
Come on. He's very say it. I got it back. He's very Caucasian.
He's very white.
He looks very stiff and unathletic for sure. He can shoot it a little bit. But yesterday in the Duke game, he was standing in the corner. Every possession, run to the corner and stand there. So what do you do if you're Cam Williams? If Cam Boozer comes back, Kamania comes back,
and who's the power forward, the 5-star kid that I think they're redshirting this year that I asked you about?
I forgot his name already.
Who is that? Sure, you know who it is. Go ahead, Brogan. You talk. Sure, you look.
And so
Sebastian Wilkins is redshirting.
Yeah, Sebastian Wilkins.
And so, you know, again, you've said this 100 times. Cam Williams is more prospect than player at this moment. He's not going to come into college and be 20-9 like Koa Pete, 16-9 like Koa Pete is. He's just not physically that guy yet. He's not Kevin Durant coming into college. He's a year or two behind that. Now, is he an all NBA type of prospect? 100%. So if you go to Duke and that's the situation they're in, you run a huge risk of playing 18 minutes a game and coming off the bench potentially, which I don't think he'll do. I think at that point, Arizona's back in the mix.
Kobiel?
No, that makes sense, especially like I know we've said it many times. Williams is a guy that he's not like a Koa Pete where he's going to come in and be super dominant right away. He's more of that potential type 5-star too. So if you're him, you're sitting here like, well, I'm definitely going to be like a bench player if Boozer comes back. And I'm sitting here like, might fall down the rotation if Kamania takes a step forward and that 5-star red shirts, he's having a good year. So I could see him kind of looking around and being like, this might not be as good of a spot as I thought it was a couple months ago.
And the only thing, Tommy's going to move on, but Tommy's not stupid, Mr. Tyler Warden. That's all I'm going to say is that if we know this rumor, Tommy Lloyd definitely knows this rumor. That's all I'm going to say. But so we will see. I'm not sold on Boozer, the good one, being number one. He's not. We were talking about that the other day.
He's not. I don't think he's number one.
He's definitely not number one. He's very good, but if
there's
Devancer or Peterson, those are your only two choices.
Yeah, there was a stat somebody put on Twitter last night, I think, where in Power 5 games, Boozer's shooting like 39% from two and like 39% around the rim. Against the non-power schools, he's shooting like 100 and 200% from the field.
Right.
But he's right now struggling against size because he's not overly athletic. He's way more skilled than he is athletic. He just happens to be 6'8". Really, really good, but he's not Devancer or Peterson.
Now, Mr. Tyler Warden, like obviously he wants it, but you got to position yourself financially. They're not going to be making a lot of moves here for the next couple months. Maybe one or two guys, but they're not going to be.
Caleb Holt's the next move that happens if anything happens immediately, right?
Is there any smoke with Caleb Holt? Just so everybody knows out there, one of the two best shooting guards in the country.
They got Alozzi. Houston got Alozzi, which is nice. The hope is Alabama and Arizona, I think, are the two schools that are actually starting to emerge. You want Stokes to go to Kentucky. That would put them out of there. But Arizona and Alabama are very much in this thing.
And did Alabama
you want Samuels to commit to Alabama before Holt does?
Yeah.
Right. Didn't he just and didn't Samuels, another 5-star shooting guard, just commit?
Not to Alabama, but he's supposed to announce before Holt. But everybody's crystal balled him to Alabama so far.
By the way, guess who just texted me? Who texts me generally? I heard Shear's going to get this one. Who generally?
Matt Muehlbach?
Muehlbach said, I can't believe you hate my guts.
No, is it Dave? Did you get Dave to text you?
Dave, baby.
Yep.
Dave always hits me up after a big win. He says, "Hello, my friend. I'm enjoying a cold frosty after the big win. Wildcats are good. I love
so predictable. Whoever made that hire is a genius.
Yes,
I love them on your show.
I'm just saying this. Dave hired Tommy. Dave hired Brennan. Dave hired Chip. That's all I'm going to say. I will back Dave to the moon and back. Yes, exactly.
Dave gets credit for the Brennan hire?
I mean, I guess. I mean, at this point, I mean, you got to. I mean, we're going to talk football here in just a second, actually, because we are a football school as well. But Holt to Arizona. Oh, that would be so good if Arizona was able to get that. I do believe, though. Let's talk about Burries here just for a second, because I think that Burries, how does Arizona handle this then for next year then? Because let's just say that Burries is what we're hoping he's going to be. Serviceable, good. And I don't think there's any reason to expect that he can't do that, But he's not projected as a first-round pick. Where does Arizona then stand with him going into next year, fellas?
Well, my lukewarm take is Arizona's going to have either Burries or Holt on the roster at the starting two next year. My hot take is that's the starting backcourt next year for Arizona, and you'll get a backup point guard to play with him.
Skier?
It's just hard to tell. I mean, it's very clear, like, that stupid ESPN mock draft that came out yesterday that had Burries at, 30 and Aristote at 47.
They don't watch the games, clearly.
Right? Clearly, he's not. Maybe you pick him, Burries. Maybe he gets drafted. He's older. Maybe he just is but you got, if he plays like this, he's got to come back, right? Whether or not that's at Arizona, I don't know. Maybe, I just don't know. But that's going to be, it's early. But we know that Arizona is adding a point guard, whether it's Caleb Holt or a veteran dude, probably both. If they get Holt, they'll still add another point guard. But when you look at this roster, that is by far the biggest question.
And let me ask you this. Do you guys, and this might be a stupid question, but Kobe, do you feel the only thing that Burries is kind of I don't know that Burries is a point guard. As a matter of fact, I don't believe he's a point guard. I mean, do you feel good about if Burries is your point guard next year? Do you guys feel good about it?
I don't feel awful about it. I don't think he's awful. Would I rather him be off the ball? Yeah, but I think he's been fine on the ball.
Who was UConn's point guard tonight?
Demery, technically.
They
ball for half the game.
They got 2 combo guards. They don't have a point. I mean, Malachi Smith is a point guard, but they start 2 combo guards. A lot more teams do that than just say, "Here's my pure point guard." Nowadays, so you can get away with it.
Big 12 Bobby says, "I don't know if Burries is right-handed." That's mean. Watch your mouth. That is mean. Yes, Kobe L, what do you think?
I feel like we shouldn't be on panic alert for Braden yet. I mean, we're getting there, but everyone's acting like we're like on a 10 out of 10 on a panic meter at the moment. I don't know how many freshmen have played 3 top 15 teams for their first 5 career games.
No, that's
so
very
it's kind of
true.
like, and some of these matchups, like I know we were talking about it last night, we're like, Paul is going to be a really tough matchup for him. I don't know how many freshmen are like going to go into a game when they're playing ball in their 5th career game, or they're playing like Xavier Lee, who's extremely fast. So I mean, I'm not willing to wave the panic meter yet, but let's try to see what happens by the end of non-conference going into conference play.
I would play Burries 35 minutes a game the next 2 games. It just
yes, that to me, and that's what I was going to get on. That to me is the next thing here is that you've got to get Burries. You just got to get Burries going. You got a couple bum teams. Who do we have coming up? Like NAU and some other crap, or who do we have?
State and Denver.
Yeah, they're terrible.
All right, yeah, those teams suck. That's my top priority because I think what's kind of interesting about this team is that even though these guys can get better, I think a lot of these guys have kind of fallen into their role already. I mean, you're kind of seeing, figured out roles and whatnot. You saw Krivas obviously was huge today. I think you just got to get Burries going because I think it was Big 12 Bobby's point. I think you need Burries to be that third scorer. And, and again, we're 5 games into the season. Is it so again, I'm not really at that point. Bryce James is going to redshirt at Rubio. So Izzy Wildcat fan, not worried about Burries tonight. This is Team Jaden plus the post, and this is our focus, especially tonight. Yeah, you just want to get him going. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, all right. Now, they're definitely redshirting Bryce James or Rubio. Okay, now, I'm going to say this: Arizona, and I believe this, and tell me if I'm wrong. I believe that these were the two. I believe right now these are the 2 best teams in the country. Arizona and UConn. I believe these are the 2 best
really
teams.
Good, but I'm not going to argue it.
You can have Purdue. That's fine. I'll take these 2 teams.
Yeah. Okay.
What's interesting about Purdue is they're very, very, very similar to Arizona. Slightly wider, but with a hard T, not a D. Yeah. But they're very similar. They're huge up front. They got an awesome physical power forward who averages like 20 and 10. They got an awesome point guard. They got a shooting guard who can shoot it. So, again, I don't trust Purdue to win all the big games because of their history, but Purdue is built a lot like Arizona. So,
but they're wider, though.
Agreed, but you got Braden Smith, who's
they're definitely wider.
Yeah.
They are. They're wider.
They start Lawyer, Braden Smith, and Clough.
Trey Kaufman.
He's high. He's mixed, so that's 3.5.
CJ Cox, right?
I'm not going with the mixed stuff. Cox, Kaufman, and so they start.
But they're wider. Yeah, go ahead.
But so I honestly think it's Purdue until it's not. It's UConn. It's Arizona. I think those are the 3. BYU's in that conversation if they had Kennard Davis because they need his defense and athleticism and shooting. They don't have that now, and.
Oh, and he's definitely gone too.
Yeah, he's not coming back. Not this year, for sure. Houston, I've been skeptical on all year. Same with you, Mike. Houston's going to have to earn it for me to put them in that top. Mm-hmm. They're in the next tier, but I think it's those 3.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would totally agree with that. Okay, slightly whiter. What's Mike's other half? Believe it or not, I'm totally white. I know.
Mike could do like player evals without even knowing not even watching the player. Like, what's he
No,
look
I
like?
have to see the player, but I'm going
All
to
right.
give the benefit of the doubt.
Mike
to
has a
certain
secret podcast called Caucasian Corner, where he just
Yeah.
talks all about white basketball.
yeah, dude, it's an amazing. It's amazing.
Probably what he would say his issue is with Illinois. Is that true?
I had a guy the other day, or he DM'd me. It's pretty funny. He says, do you realize about how terrible you sound towards the white race? And I'm like, well, I don't know if you looked at me or not, but I'm like the whitest looking person you've ever seen. I'm allowed to say it. Yeah. But I also said that I think there's a perfect amount of white guys to have on a team. So I'm not saying you don't want to get rid of them. You got to have if there's like an 8-man rotation, you have 3, but that's no more than that. No more than 3 white guys. Okay. Now, Shear's like, I am not touching this issue. Yeah.
Super snaps, though.
yeah, super snaps. Okay, all right. Now, let's get to the rest of these reads right here. And then I want to talk a little bit of football here before we sign off because we are a football school as well. Football school. All right, Foster Plumbing, Kobe L. Thiel. I know you don't. Hey, man, the last thing that you want if you don't have air conditioning is a toilet that's not working. That is a toilet that's clogged. You would agree with that?
Oh, the toilet's got to be unclogged at all times. It's got to be on deck just in case duty calls.
Yes, exactly. Now, with Foster Plumbing, they are here for you when duty calls. 24/7 service. 10% off when you mention the AZ12 or the AZ12 podcast. Brogan, we asked you this before, but you're of the age that we need to basically ask this once a time. Is your front pipe still working? Have you verified?
Yes, the white front pipe still works.
Okay, good. Perfect. That's what we like to hear. Yes, exactly. But if you look at that, though, you need a wrench and some nuts or something there. Check it out as well. Gas, water, sewer, you name it, they've got it at Foster Plumbing. They've done an amazing job, especially in this area. You will thank me later. Get with them. Get with them. Foster Plumbing. Danny Foster's the man. We love Danny Foster. All right, yeah, the Tucson Family Food Project. Yeah, this fajita right here. This thing looks very, very tasty. Now, their goal, 255 meal kits per week. 2026, 1,000 meal kits per week is the goal. Yeah, direct aid plus life skills development. Donations made with AZ12 comments will be matched cumulative up to $10,000. We love Cheryl on this show. Cheryl is amazing. Tyler Warden, you got the right idea, my friend. Okay, now, I can't read that. Okay, all right, I think that's it. All right, not just a football school. Talk about this. We always talk about the birth rate and about how it's skyrocketed after World War II. Boomers coming back. They're like, I'm making up for lost time. We'll get busy. Now, this right here, not just a football school. This shirt right here is going to excite everybody in there. But once you get it, there's going to be nothing that you can do to hold back that. Check it out. Now, not just a football school. Now, all right. Arizona football here. We got Brogan and Kobe L on. Sheer and I are going to talk about this tomorrow. Oh, by the way, let's make fun of ASU here for a minute. Sam Levitt leaving. Kenny Dillingham not exactly having nice things, or Chris Cartman not having nice things to say about Sam Levitt. Kenny Dillingham did not want to talk about it. This is awesome. And I say that to say this. We need a backup quarterback next year, guys.
Why not Arizona?
Yeah. What do you guys say?
ASU fans trying to tell me that Sam is better than Noah, but not actually having any sort of reasoning in doing so was fantastic yesterday. I know we all like Jay Merck, but he was trying to. I was like, "What stat do you want to look at?" Because Noah kills him in all the stats, and it was like, "Oh, we can talk about Heisman odds in Vegas." And I'm like, "When?" He was like, "Week 2, week 3," and then Skier was like, "Just tell him that Arch Manning was first for a couple weeks, and that would shut him up." And it didn't, but I don't think Sam is that good. I'm just going to put that out there.
Right.
Well, what's interesting about the whole Levitt scenario is they go to the playoff last year. He's a big reason why, obviously. I mean, Scattaboo, clearly. But it's always weird when somebody gets hurt and then all of a sudden they're leaving and not coming back. Right. So there's something weird going on behind the scenes. You'll have to see if you can get Kenny in the offseason to give you the real scoop on what's going on.
Give me the scoop, Kenny. Give me the enemy scoop.
Like, in the age of NIL, you can't help but think that somebody else is just going to open up, the truck for him. So he's going to sit out the rest of the year and get paid next year.
All right, let's talk about a team that's better than them, Arizona. So we got this game against Baylor, then we got this game against ASU. Well, let's talk about recruiting here for a second. Basically, Arizona has like 10,000 four-stars coming in here. Skier, did you put a little push into the cushion on those rankings?
I didn't, but they added four-star players today based on evals, and honestly, it's not going to change much based on what we were told. This was kind of the last one because signing days in 2 weeks. So Arizona's doing well. They moved up like 6 spots, I think. Yeah, 36 in the country right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, and here's where I'm at, and I think I'm right. One guy keeps telling me you need to give a full-throated apology. First of all, that sounds terrible. I'm not going to give a full-throated apology.
Half a throat, maybe?
I'm not going to get. I'm not throating any apologies.
Championship package apology.
That is not going to happen. I don't understand why this can't, though. I said Brennan deserves a raise. I would give him one of those 1-year extension things. And obviously, I'd bring him back. If he does it again, then I think he's the man. I just don't understand why people are like, you got to commit to him, for 6 more years now. Next year's schedule is brutal. What happens if Arizona goes 4-8? Are we going to sit here and say, man, you do it 1 more year, and then you're the long-term guy. What say you guys?
Where would you rank Brennan in terms of Power 4 coaches?
I mean, he's not as good as the Vanderbilt coach. I had a buddy of mine that said that he's clearly better than the Vanderbilt coach. I don't know that I would agree with that one, but
not the bottom 5 though. He's not in the bottom 5 of Power 4 coaches.
Well, this same guy said he was in the bottom 10, so I think we were probably both wrong. But
I think it's kind of hard because the guys that would be like bottom 5 already got fired, so it's kind of like it's kind of hard as the guys that should be they're already gone.
He has done a very nice job this season.
Yeah, here's where I'm with. Here's where I'm at.
Both got each other there. That was good. Hey, if you guys couldn't figure out who was talking to who in there, then you're an idiot.
So, last year he took a 10-win team and turned it to a 4-win team with NFL players. Yeah. He blamed depth and buy-in and all those things. Great. I have to trust him a little bit because he's come back with 7 wins this year. I think it was fair for everyone to get a little unstable when they lose to an overrated Iowa State team. Then they trick the game off against BYU. Then they lose to a Houston team where it felt like they should have and could have won that game.
Right.
But then he righted the ship and he's won a bunch of games. So here's where I'm at with Brennan. His recruiting looks pretty good. They got a tougher schedule next year. If you make a bowl game next year, I'm all in. We're good to go.
Yeah.
I don't even need you to win 10 games. Make a bowl game. If you turn this into 4 wins again next year, then I'm right back to where I was when the year started. And so make a bowl game next year. We're all good.
Guys, isn't that fair though, Sheer, Kobe L? Yeah. You do it 1 more year, then we're all in. I mean, yeah.
I don't want to do the 1-year thing. I need it to be somewhat of a pattern. Yeah, absolutely. Next season, I need a bowl. I'm cool.
I'd agree as well, but I was going to laugh. Someone just sent me Hurley in his post game. Just we blew an effing chance to beat one of the best teams in the country. I'm like, very true, very true.
Yeah,
but so glad to get that appreciation.
Now, what Brennan, the work he's going to have cut out for him is he's going to have to replace a lot on the offensive line, a lot on the defensive line, all of his best players in the secondary. So he's going to have his work cut out for him. But if he can figure out the lines, then they've got enough talent. If Noah comes back, there's no reason why he shouldn't make a bowl.
So again, we're pleased, very pleased with how it's gone. This has been a good season. Do it 1 more year. Again, I'm with Brogan. I don't need 10 wins. Give me 7 wins, and we're here. So that's what I'm at. And I don't think that honestly, I think that's a pretty rational perspective there. So anyways, okay. Now, this was awesome. This was an awesome game for Arizona. I believe these are the 2 best teams in the country. Sheer believes Purdue's better. Well, all right, Brogan and I are right. It's UConn. But all the super snaps in there. You guys were absolutely amazing. I can't thank you enough. Yeah. So it was awesome. Also, we haven't talked. Well, I don't want to talk about that because I'm going to be talking with somebody else. I don't want to get into that. But Brad Hawk, I almost fell for that. Okay. On that note, though, for Mr. John Brogan, for Jason Shear, for Kobe L. Thiel, I'm merely Mike Luke. Again, you guys were amazing. We got up to 730 lives today. Very, very good. And again, all the super snaps, you guys are awesome. We will be back with you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Set your alarm. On that, oh, yeah. Oh, also, my bad. Little Caesars, my friends, code 1099 bundle, classic pepperoni or cheese pizza, and a crazy bread and 2-liter soda for $10.99. Yummy in the tummy. Code LCFREECC, free crazy combo with a pizza purchase. All right, you guys are awesome. We will talk with you tomorrow. For John Brogan, Jason Shear, Kobe L. Thiel, Cody James Martin, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Woohoo!